Our final presenters are from Germfree. They are Brandon Searle, Value Stream Manager, and Stephen Ondeck, Director of Life Science Sales. In their presentation, they're going to take us behind the build. New Germfree integrates advanced equipment into clean room facilities. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hi, Perry. Thank you for the introduction.
Thank you, Perry.
So we're gonna speak a little bit about the integration of equipment into our facilities. Like Perry said, my name is Brandon Searle. I'm the Value Stream Manager here at Germfree. I spent most of my time in engineering. In the last couple of years, transitioned into my new role, which is kind of like a general manager of the equipment division. And I'm joined by Stephen Ondeck.
Hello, everybody. I'm Stephen Ondeck. I'm the Director of Life Science Sales. My team encompasses everything from cGMP applications, biocontainment, and pharmacy. I've been with Germfree for a little over 2 years, experience with Thermo Fisher, compounding pharmacies, things of that nature in the past. Looking forward to chatting with everybody today. Thank you.
So in today's agenda, we'll walk through some of Germfree's equipment and how they integrate into our facilities. We'll take an in-depth look at one of our hazardous isolators built for hazardous drug manipulation that was actually placed inside one of our modular facilities. We'll talk a little bit about that in depth, and then Stephen will walk us through a few key points of facilities and how we integrate the equipment into that. So with that said, I'll move on to our video to start the in-depth tour.
Welcome to the production floor. Germfree's been in business since 1962, and we began our business developing Class 3 glove boxes for government use mainly. Today, we've evolved into what you see behind me. This is a Class 3 glove box connected to a Class 2 unit. So how the product lifecycle typically works at Germfree is we'll custom design a unit for a client, and then it hits the shop floor. So we have a couple dedicated sheet metal vendors that we use, and then the sheet metal components will come in through the QC process and then hit the production floor where we go and assemble all the components to the units. We've evolved over the years from building Class 3 units into fill finish products such as laminar airflow, horizontal and vertical units, and then eventually into pharmaceutical isolators. Mostly for small batch filling applications, but we serve a wide variety of clients. There's a couple different ways that Germfree takes client feedback and incorporates it into their designs. One of those would be the Smart Hood unit that Germfree is currently designing. So we've taken a look at the market, and we've understood the problem areas that we typically run into when compounding drugs, and we've kind of incorporated all that into a new unit that we call the Smart Hood. Another way on custom projects that we incorporate client feedback is we hold lesson learned meetings with our clients to understand what the problem areas in the build were, and then go back and we incorporate those changes on the next units. Germfree has produced a few custom projects for CMOs, including small batch filling isolators. This led to Germfree's intent to dive deeper into the pharmaceutical market and start our process of designing the next cutting edge isolators. So Germfree's deep understanding of Class 3 glove boxes led to a natural transition into the pharmaceutical world, developing pharmaceutical isolators. These isolators maintain the same requirements that Class 3s do as far as rules and regulations around pressure testing and HEPA filtration. So Germfree took its knowledge it gained over the years in Class 3s and kind of incorporated that into the next cutting edge line of pharmaceutical isolators. Behind me is one of the standard products Germfree offers in the Class 3 division. We call this our SGB, our single-sided glove box. So this is a 2-glove model with a detachable airlock. This unit's in the final state of production where we're testing it. We're going to do pressure tests and airflow tests on it to make sure that we maintain our spec, and then this will be packed and shipped to the client. So this is Germfree's standard equipment testing area. These 2 units behind me have just been tested and are getting ready for a final QC check before shipping. These are Germfree's new Z series models, the base for the smart hood. This is one of Germfree's new products. It's a compounding safety enclosure, a CSE as we call it. It's a powder hood, so it's a powder containment hood. The client's working with a sort of hazardous powder inside. There's trays to catch the powder and keep it from dropping back down on the work deck. We make both a single HEPA version and a double HEPA version, the double HEPA version for the hazardous powders. Now I'd like to pass it to Stephen, who's going to talk a little bit about how we integrate our equipment into laboratories.
Hello everybody, I'm Stephen Ondeck, Director of Life Science Sales here at Germfree. Currently I'm standing in front of one of our first ever truly decentralized point of care manufacturing facilities for Caring Cross. So this model behind us is actually going to be going to Brazil. It does have a sister as well, it's going to be going to Ohio. So we are manufacturing here first ever, again, the decentralized and point of care manufacturing facilities that are completely turnkey, completely self-sufficient, integrated with a QC area, so you are able to receive patient material, process the material, manufacture, and get back into patient all right outside of your healthcare facility. So based off of the information that you heard from Brandon, so how our pieces of equipment actually integrate into our facilities, it really starts from the very first steps of how is your facility going to be laid out. So whenever we talk about Germfree being a turnkey offering and a turnkey company, we mean we are manufacturing not only your facility on a modular platform or a mobile platform, you are actually manufacturing some of your pieces of equipment as well. If that's an isolator, a laminar flow hood, a BSC, whatever you can actually have placed in that facility, we are in the early planning stages whenever we're looking at your design, where that piece of equipment needs to be, where it needs to be connected to, does it need any process gases, does it need electrical hookups? So we start literally from sometimes a napkin of this is my design, and we bring it through our entire process of design, build, install, CQV, and turnover. So we are here for you for your entire journey from start to finish with your process equipment integrated into your facility as well. If that's coming from Germfree or others, we're here to help you along the way. Right? And now take a walk with me over to one of our mobile units. So welcome back. We're currently standing in one of our mobile facilities. This is actually one of our rental units. As you can see, we have some of our pieces of equipment actually integrated into this facility itself. So whenever you get this, it is, again, another one of our truly turnkey offerings. From a rental platform, you can integrate with your pieces of equipment, but Germfree will provide our pieces of equipment in this facility ready to go for you to rent. Outside of that, we do integrate our mobile units as well with any of our other pieces of equipment. If you're looking for an LFGI, if you're looking for a glove box, isolators, things of that nature can be very easily integrated into our facilities on a mobile platform, not just our modular offerings as well. All right, so let's say you're looking at a situation where you've built a facility, you need to move around pieces of equipment, you need to integrate new pieces of equipment, you're a CDMO, you're expanding. What does that look like? How do I change things out? We're here along that journey as well. What we try to do is future-proof your facilities, making sure you have the right electrical capacity, process gas setups, hookups, things of that nature, so you can integrate with future pieces of equipment that will interchange with a LFGI, a flow hood, whatever it might be, a BSC. So if you need to move things around, let's say you're looking at something from a cell and gene basis, and you need to actually look at an isolator installation. And can I move that isolator? It might be tough, but we are here to work through that process with you. Again, looking at expansion and future-proofing your builds. If you're building a 10-year facility, you want it for 10 years. You're gonna grow during that time. We're here to grow with you as well. We are here to be your partner from start to finish of your project. Like I said earlier, we've literally started some of our projects done on a napkin, and we are here to do your design, build, install, CQV, and even maintenance of your facility as well. If you're in a mobile unit or a modular, you need our team to help support you. From a standpoint of maintenance, we are here along the life of your facility. So look forward to hearing from you. Look forward to talking to you later and answering some questions that you have on our facility. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Hope everybody enjoyed that nice video that we pulled together for you. So talking a little bit about Germfree, kind of who we are, how long we've been in the industry. So we are 61 years, actually coming up on 62 years in business. Our facility you got a little glimpse of. It's about 175,000 square feet. Now that facility is in Ormond Beach or Daytona Beach area. Down in Florida. So that's where we do all of our manufacturing. So we go with that more prefabricated approach for a lot of our builds, where we're utilizing the mobile and modular platforms. All of our pieces of equipment, everything that you saw in the video and everything that we manufacture all comes out of that home base for us. Now, in terms of the markets that we're servicing and really what that looks like for us, we are doing the prefabricated modulars. We have the mobile application as well. All of those are hitting different markets. So we've been servicing the biocontainment community for a very long time. That's actually kind of the foundation of where Germfree got its start. Literally think boy in the bubble. That's where we started. Now we've kind of progressed through that with some of our isolator offerings, our BSCs, our limmer flow hoods. And then we have gotten into the facility side of things over the past about 20 years or so. Now that application is something that is truly prefabricated. Think a box. I hate to put us in a box, but that's literally what we are. We're manufacturing prefabricated facilities. Now, if that's 30,000 square feet or 1,500 square feet or 400 square feet, depending on the size and scope, we use different applications for those. Now on the mobile platform, we do a lot biocontainment, pharmacy, CGMP. Those I would say are our big three pillars of what we're doing. Now on the custom equipment side, as Brandon talked about earlier, we're doing a lot on the isolator side as of late. That's really becoming a key offering for us. Having something that's manufactured U.S. and domestic here has been a really key thing for us. We have some great partners along that way as well. But really having the ability to be a custom shop for anybody else along the way. If you need a custom BSC, a custom size, if you need to add certain features, things of that nature, we have that ability to do all of that in-house, which gives us a lot of dynamic approaches to how we go about customer problems and customer solutions. Now, talking a little bit more about where does Germfree operate? So we operate across the globe. So we are not just a domestic business. We do business across the globe. We've done applications in sub-Saharan Africa, northern Canada, Abu Dhabi. We've done facilities in Australia. So we are doing that prefabricated approach in our equipment across the globe. So not just here domestic. So depending on where your facility needs are or your equipment needs are, we are fully capable of applying any of our solutions across the globe. Gives us a lot of visibility and also helps us really drive a lot of solutions for our customers that don't typically have just one site. They have multiple sites across the globe. So we're here to help support on those as well. Well, going into some real life cases, so taking a look here, there's just two business cases that we pulled together. So we've done more CGMP applications. This was actually for a CDMO facility. Now that CDMO facility had a lot of, I talked about future proofing in the video. CDMOs need that expansion space. They need to be able to future-proof as best they can. We integrated that facility design in mind of how are they going to scale up. If you see here in that small picture on the left, some smaller bioreactors were utilized in that space. Now we did a higher ceiling in that space to future-proof for any larger bioreactor that might need to come into that space as well. So thinking about that growth as we integrate those pieces of equipment into that facility. If that's germ-free pieces of equipment or other vendors as well. We're always working with our partners whenever we're looking at how we're designing, what pieces of equipment need to go in that space. From a utility standpoint, how are we really positioning things that make sense for that space? So that was a fun project for us. Went into an existing space where we actually had to remove a wall section to slide our modulars in. Not the case in every project that we do, but there was some complexity there that we did have to overcome. Now, looking at another job that we've done here as well, this is along the lines of NIH. We actually did win an award for this facility. So this facility was their tumor infiltrating lymphocyte facility. It's actually on the top of Building 10 at NIH. Very cool application. Instead of actually doing an exterior truly, we did an exterior, but on the roof, building a surrounding around that facility and giving them a great turnkey solution that actually sits on the roof where they're manufacturing to this day. So that gives you an idea of kind of some of the complexity that we see on a day-to-day, from the job complexity to the solution. Where do we have to put it? Where can we put it? The prefabricated approach is not a good fit for everybody, but it can be the right solution for you, as long as we are here to drive that process for you. Again, us being a truly turnkey operation with being design, build, install, CQV, and even that maintenance side of things, Germfree is here along that life cycle for you. If that's a 10-year service agreement, 5-year, whatever that might be, we are here to be completely integrated with you and your solution. All right, so I think everybody's going to see here on their screen a nice little poll question from the Germfree team. I appreciate you guys filling that out whenever you get a chance. And to wrap things up, thank you all very much for your time. I'm trying to go a little fast to make up some of the time we went over. So I want to see if we have any questions for Brandon and I believe Brandon is still on the line as well. So Perry?
Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, thanks. Great set of solutions. Just really interesting. Love the NIH example on the roof of NIH. Yeah. So really cool. This probably has to do maybe with compounding pharmacies, but what kind of support do you offer during that's related to validation and regulatory compliance as you're integrating for all clients, but maybe compounding pharmacies especially?
Yeah, compounding pharmacies, what a fun dynamic that approach is these days, with the constant changing of the USP 800 and 797 and the different phases, and things are constantly changing on that front. So we have an in-house CQB team. So if we're integrating pieces of equipment to your existing facility, or we're building your facility for you, or a combination of both, our team is there to help you along the way with the validation aspect. So we are looking at what you're integrating, and then our team will be there to help do the install, train your team on that, and help with the validation aspect as well. If it's something depending on the customer, they don't want the manufacturer to do the validation as well. They want a third party. So we have partners as well. And say my service team is across the globe, like we often are. We have third-party partners as well that we would bring in to help support also where needed.
Excellent. A couple audience questions having to do with your mobile or modular units. So one is, what's the longest lifetime of one of these? And then the other question seems to be like, do you initially approach a project with a modular unit as a solution and then phase it out with something more permanent?
Two great questions. So I'll kind of address the lifespan first. So to give you an idea, so we actually did a BSL-3 ag facility that sits in Singapore. So that facility was in place for 10 years. Fun fact, it was actually the first facility to extract the live COVID virus. So helping with the engineering and getting to a solution for the vaccine. But that facility, we actually just relocated this past year. They unfortunately lost their land lease over time. So we actually sent our team out there to completely disassemble that facility, move it across to the other side of Singapore, and then reinstall that facility. So talks a little bit about the durability of our facilities and being able to relocate them and install them. Obviously, over 10 years, we had to upgrade a couple things, but really looking at that from like a timeline standpoint, we'll put a 10-year shelf life on any one of our facilities easy. The one thing that you really have to look at is like total cost of ownership. And whenever you're looking at total cost of ownership with a true prefabricated approach, you got to think about your downtime, how often it's not a panel wall system. We're doing a straight single wall approach. So if we get our wall sections in 48-foot long sheets and you have a 48 or a 40-foot wall section, it's actually a single wall section of Arcoplast. So you're not getting those panels every 4 to 6 feet, whatever that might look like. So we're actually epoxying those joints, so the longevity of your facility and downtime really are affected by that. Now, getting into the second question there, we've seen a couple different applications on that side. We've seen some people that are utilizing, especially our mobile, like that's more, hey, we're upgrading a facility and we need some temporary space. We've seen the mobile be utilized a lot that way. But we've also seen that mobile become a permanent home for some cell and gene applications as well, where people are utilizing actually like a double trailer with a mezzanine space in between that's connecting the two, that they're actually doing viral vector production in there. So we have some that have turned that we're going to need this for a finite amount of time to get ourselves up and running, to then it becoming a true actual permanent space where they've actually built like some infrastructure around it and put a roof over top. So that's the other thing too. Our modulars and mobile units sit out in the elements in a lot of applications. So the nice thing with the modular and the prefabricated approach is it can grow with you. Say you only need 1,500 square feet to kind of get you through that phase one. And then as you go through your trial phases, or you're trying to bolster on additional space, the modular approach is perfect for that. We can come back and bolster on additional space. The CGMP application that we talked about that was actually up in Boston for the CDMO, that space was a mix of panel wall, stick built, and modular. So we can integrate into existing space that way as well, where you have a facility that had all the big three of what you have from a facility production standpoint. So we can integrate in whichever way you'd like, or if you want to start modular and kind of go stick build or panel wall after that, we can integrate or help with that transition process as well.
Awesome solutions. Thank you very much for being with us today. Brandon Searle and Stephen Ondeck from Germfree. Great stuff. Thank you, gentlemen.